What's up, guys? It's Nemo, and today we're going to be doing an NBA 2K20 fantasy draft, building a team around Luka Doncic. He's one of the biggest names in basketball right now. He's only 20 years old. He's the European phenom. Everyone's going crazy about him. So what I want to do is build a team around him. I've done similar videos with the NFL with Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. But here, on a basketball team, there's only 12 players on the team. So I feel like each player that you pick is going to have more of an impact on the guy around him. So I thought this would be a cool idea to pursue. So what we're going to be looking for is, first of all, we're going to want to build for youth since Luka himself is 20 years old. And we're going to want mostly 3-and-D guys and slashers for him to pass to because he's a great, phenomenal passer. And having 3-and-D guys that can hit the three and then play good defense on the other end, along with slashers to cut to lanes and allow him to pass it to him for easy layups and dunks, that's what I think we need to build around him, as well as having a big guy in the paint for him to dish it off to on drives, and a guy who's a good rim protector and a dominant rebounder. And then also I want to get at least one older player with more experience that can help in a real life scenario to kind of build the team up and teach them maturity and a winning attitude, championship. Although I really do think Luka doesn't need too much help with that. Okay, so we're gonna get right into it. We're using the Rockets just because I think Mike D'Antoni's system would work well with a guy like Luka, giving Luka a lot of the control the same way that they do with Harden, because I just trust Luka's judgment that much as a basketball player and his basketball smarts. All right, so we just started the draft. We're looking here at the top. You see Giannis, LeBron, James Harden. We have the number one pick, and Luka here is the youngest guy by far. He's 20. He's got really good shooting, great perimeter defense. His playmaking is phenomenal. His potential is A+ through the roof. 96 overall. We're going to take him, no doubt. He's the number one pick in the draft right now for building a franchise, almost no question. Now we're here at the second pick. I'm going to be looking for somebody who's young, probably around the 22 to 23-year-old range, and who has a lot of potential and that can kind of fit the categories that I was talking about earlier to build around Luka. And I'm looking at Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown looks like a nice piece. He's an 85 overall, great shooter, great defense. So he fits that 3-and-D kind of thing. I like to think of him as like a Klay Thompson to Luka's Steph. It could be a nice fit. D'Angelo Russell is also kind of nice, although he's a little short and he's not quite the perimeter defender we'd want on a championship team. John Collins, I'm looking here. He's all right as well, but doesn't bring quite as much to the table as Jaylen Brown does, in my opinion. We're going to keep looking. Porzingis is a nice fit, and I know that Porzingis is already on the Mavericks in real life, but really that is a really great duo. Porzingis does fit like that, that big guy in the paint that can play D and get rebounds, although he can also stretch the floor and hit threes and do a bunch of other crazy things. So we might want to take Luka later on. Looking here, Mitchell Robinson and Marvin Bagley are also nice pieces. They're very young and they have good potential, but I'm still not seeing anybody that really fits what we want to build around Luka better than Jaylen Brown does. So I think we're going to take Jaylen Brown. We might want to look a little bit more, just see if there's any sleepers, any really young guys that might be sleeping down there. I saw Wendell Carter. Lauri Markkanen does have A+ potential. He's a nice piece, but a little too early to take him in the draft. So here I'm thinking we're going to go back up and take Jaylen Brown. So now we have Luka with Jaylen Brown as the second guy. Jaylen's going to develop right along with him, and they could be a really great dynamic duo going forward. Next, I see that Porzingis is still on the board, and that's kind of crazy to me. It's already the third round. We do have the first pick in the third round, but Porzingis is still there. He's 7'2", 84 overall. We might want to take him. I don't play with injuries, admittedly, so I turn injuries off. So any injury-prone stuff he might have is going to be out of the question. So we might want to take him. Lauri Markkanen and Wendell Carter, though, are both still here. As a Bulls fan, those guys get me excited, and might want to take Lauri here as well. It's going to be tough picking between Lauri and Porzingis. They're both pretty young, and they both have great potential and able to stretch the floor and do other things as a big man. So let's see and kind of survey the board and see what we want to do here at this pick. I think we're definitely going to take a big guy here, whether it be Porzingis or Lauri Markkanen. And the thing I do like about Lauri is he has A+ potential. You don't really see that too much in it's hard to come across guys like that with A+ potential, which means they can develop, Lauri, give him 2-3 years in a franchise mode, he can become like a 95, 96 overall easily with that A+ potential. So we want to keep an eye out for that. But Porzingis is 7'2", and having that kind of size on the basketball court, you can ask any coach, that's a game changer. He is a good three-point shooter. He's also a great defender and rebounder, and that's kind of tough. Another guy in the mix is Domantas Sabonis. He's also a pretty good shooter, although he's not as dominant defensively, and that could be a liability for us. So we might want to stay off Sabonis. And I think we're going to probably take Porzingis here just because he's 7. My bad. Did I say 7'2" earlier? He's 7'3", guys. This guy's 7'3". He's got a solidified contract as well. Like, yeah, we're going to be paying $27 million, which isn't really that much, I think, for the talent. And we get him for 4 years guaranteed in franchise mode. So I think we're going to take Porzingis here. And Porzingis will also help out Luka on, pick and rolls and getting alley-oops up for him. Kind of like Lob City back in the day. Maybe we'll see some of that action. Okay, so now for the next guy, we're going to be looking for some more potentially 3-and-D guys, or maybe some guys that can be stretch fours. I like stretch fours for Luka because they give you a guy at the 4 position, or maybe even the 5 position, that can stretch out and shoot threes, kind of how Porzingis does. And with a guy like Luka who can drive the ball and then make crazy passes out, you want to have those guys in the corner that can hit the threes, and you want to have stretch fours and stretch fives that can do that. So I really like 3-point shooters. I'm going to the age range, and I like to always go filter by age because now I'm looking at the youngest guys, and I want to get guys on our team that are young that will develop with Luka because Luka is so young. And then obviously the past 2 guys we've taken are very young as well, Jaylen Brown and Porzingis. So I see a guy like Rui Hachimura. He's 78, 21 overall. He might be a nice fit for our team. We could put him at small forward. We're also going to be probably looking at the Bridges brothers. They could be nice for us as well. We want to get guys that can play defense. When you're playing 2K in a high difficulty, you're only able to control one player on the defensive end, and then the rest can be up to AI, like how the computer guards them, and a lot of times that's based on their stats, like how good of a perimeter defender and inside defender they are. So I never sleep on that when I'm drafting a team that I'm going to play with, and that's why I always like to look for good perimeter defenders on the wings and then great inside defenders on the inside. Similar thing with rebounding as well. A lot of that can be AI controlled, and that's out of your control. As a player, you want to maximize the things you can't control and then do the best at the things you can control when it comes to this game. Another guy that's nice is Dante DiVincenzo. He was from Villanova, the guy that he went off in the championship game. Is a really nice 3-point shot. He's also a decent defender on the wing, and he's young and has good potential. He slid into some girls' DMs in 8th grade, apparently. The girl never responded to him, but then she found out he blew up when he was at Villanova, and then she answered that message 4 or 5 years later. That's some ballin' stuff, dude. It's kind of inspirational, It's like look at me now, I like DiVincenzo, but we're gonna have to pass on him. And we end up taking Mo Bamba just because I think Mo Bamba is again one of those big guys who can shoot on the outside, and he's really athletic. Gives us a big presence in the post along with Kristaps. So now I'm looking here and trying to find some more guys to complement Luka, and I'm again sorting it by age. We see Miles Bridges here. I really like him as a piece. He's got B+ potential. He's got a good inside and outside shot. We might think about taking him later on. Let's see who else is over here. Looking. I saw Antetokounmpo's brother, however you say his name. Moritz Wagner, the Michigan star. Right? He was from Michigan, right? Yeah. Michigan, I believe so. He was a stud in the NCAA tournament. Probably not going to take him, though. See who else is over here. Was that Derrick Jones Jr.? Dunk contest. That stuff was rigged, guys. I was there live. It was so bad. Best dunk contest of all time until they rigged it. DeJounte Murray, he's a really good defender. Nice lockdown defender. That's what I'd like about him, but he doesn't bring too much else to the table, and at this position, I'm probably not going to take him. There's the other Bridges guy. They're both nice. They're both really nice pieces. I wouldn't be too upset taking either of them. But, I want to see somebody who just, stands out, and really nobody has shown up so far under the age of 23. And so, I see Lonzo. Lonzo's not bad. But he's just not there. I don't know. His defense is good, though. He's got good perimeter defense. But, yeah, we're going to end up taking Miles Bridges there. I think he's just the right pick. He brings a good small forward presence to our team. So, yeah, now with this pick, we're just going to be looking again for somebody who's young and has talent that could help out Luka in the ways we kind of talked about in the beginning of the video. And, yeah, just the last round I was struggling to find young talent, and this round I'm kind of expecting the same, obviously, and even a couple guys that have gone. Right off the top of my head, I'm thinking if the other Bridges brother is there, we might bring him in. I think that'd be pretty cool. We have two, I'm pretty sure they're brothers, playing together. That'd be really dope. It'd be cool if like 2K gave you a huge chemistry boost on that. You know, like 200 chemistry. It'd be pretty sweet. Yeah, I'm not really seeing too much. I see TJ Leaf. I think he was Lonzo's teammate back in the day. Really nothing special. Landry Shamet. Is that Mike? No, that's not Michael Beasley. I also just saw a D Wade. I swear I'm not joking right now. I just saw a D Wade. But yeah, there's the Bridges brother. He's looking like the top guy. If it was 2002, I'd take Jahlil Okafor in a heartbeat, but it's not. Although Okafor might be nice coming off the bench. Like, he is a beast. Like, in the post, you know. But yeah, Miles Bridges, or whatever, Mikal is the other guy. He's a 3-and-D player, so we're just going to take him. Like, 3-and-D guys, you put him with Luka. Luka kind of reminds me of LeBron. Like, how you want to build a team around LeBron, right? You want to give him 3-and-D guys that can help out defending on the perimeter and hitting the three when they're dished to, you know. But these Bridges guys, they're pretty athletic too, you know. So I like having both of them on the team. I think it's a good fit. Now, I'm seeing Terry Rozier. I'm seeing Ricky Rubio. I kind of like both of these guys as like a backup point guard. Guys that come in. Pat Beverly, I saw him. He's a little too old, but I like a guy like Pat Beverly too, like a nice 3-and-D player. But yeah, we're going to end up taking Terry Rozier. I just think he's got enough youth to where he'll last a while. And he's so explosive. Like, if you guys saw him in that Celtics series, man, I think it was like 2 years ago when Kyrie was down, I believe. Yeah, he's a monster. So I just like him as a player. He's really like a hustler. So we took him there. Let me see if we could find anybody else. Ivan Rabb. I remember seeing that name so much. Like, he was so hyped up coming out of high school. Like him, and I think he was with Zion's crew. Like, he might have been like a year above Zion. People were hyping him up like crazy. Yeah, so Giannis's brother, like, his only good stat is potential. I guess you gotta appreciate that, you know. At least they're giving the guy some potential. Like, they're like, hey, we see your brother. You might be pretty good too. Scale and Trey Lyles, kind of just meh. Like, at this point in the draft, it's kind of just, let's find guys that will do exactly what we need them to do when they come off the bench. So, like a rebounding and defensive big guy, maybe. Like Trey Lyles, he's good at rebounding and he can actually score the ball pretty well. So I just decided to take him here. Whether, you know, he's going to help out Luka too much, no, probably not. He'll come off the bench and he'll give us good minutes for what we need him to do, you know. Or you put him in to give one of the big guys a breather. I see Thon Maker. Thon Maker was really hyped up. I still think he could be good. Diallo, I think he's the guy that won the dunk contest a couple years ago. Taco Fall. If Taco Fall had like an A potential, I would so take him. Just for his three, like his defense and his blocking and his rebounding. Because that guy's monstrous. He's like, whatever, 7'6". And yeah, that brings me back to when Aaron Gordon dunked over him. Like, that made me sad. Yeah, we end up taking Jordan Bell here. He's a really good all-around player, good scorer, good defender, rebounder. He has decent potential. He's still young. So I just decided to take him as another guy that can come in to, you know, replace our big guys when they need a breather. So now we're looking here. We're looking for people who now can be like three-point shooters. I feel like I got all my big guys that we're going to need coming off the bench, rebounding, defensive scorers, and on the interior paint. And now I'm looking for guys that are like, yeah, those 3-and-D dudes. Preferentially, we're going to want to take youth here because we just have a young team in general. We just want to build a young team around Luka, obviously. But we're going to take what we can get. I like Royce O'Neal because he's got A-plus shooting, B potential, and the youngest of those A-plus three-point shooters that were available. We're going to see what else we got here. So, again, we got Myers Leonard. Oh, my. Okay, maybe I just didn't see him right there, but that's kind of surprised me. Now that I look at that again. Myers Leonard is A-plus three-point? Wow. He's a big guy. We don't need any big guys. We're probably not gonna take Myers Leonard. I'm looking for more of like a wing or maybe a backup point guard. This Javon Carter guy, he's looking okay. He's 24 years old. I like the youth. The only issue I have with him is he's 6'1", so I'm thinking I'm probably gonna take Tony Snell here just because he's got a taller frame at 6'6", and he's more of a wing player that I'm looking for that can do like the 3-and-D stuff that I need. So yeah, now here we're going to look again for a 3-point shooter that we can just dish it out to. Some of them might give us like 2 to 3 minutes, coming off the bench, if that. These are kind of roster fillers at this point. So again, just probably somebody young and with a decent size, decent skill set that can shoot the 3-ball. That's really all we're looking for here. So let's see. Tyler Lydon is a power forward. Yeah, I'm probably not going to take a power forward just because, we're pretty set on the bigger guys. Like we have 4 small forwards, 2 power forwards, and 2 centers. I mean, the small forwards really you can kind of move them between shooting guard and power forward if you need to as well. So those guys that's why I like taking the small forwards. I think it's the most versatile position basketball. But yeah, we just take Langston Galloway here. He's got A's across the board on his shooting from mid-range and 3 points. I mean, if we end up using this guy coming off the bench, like that's what we'll use him for. Because Langston Galloway really, he had trash defense. His defense was a C. I'm going to want to look for maybe a lockdown defender who, in specific situations, we could bring out to, if we need defense maybe for like one possession late in the game, we could bring somebody out. Not that I take 2K that seriously, but yeah, we take the Kadeem Allen dude as a defender guy. And then also, yeah, I like the young guys. Always like them. They're more valuable as trade bait, and they can just develop better. So it's cool. Like, say your players increase a few overall points, that can make a big difference in, pulling off a blockbuster trade, a blockbuster deal. So yeah, I'm going to look for a center now. We only have 2 centers. So let's see if we can just find another filler guy as a backup. Like I said, I don't play with injuries, so it's really not a concern like to have a backup to the backup. For my case, because I don't play with injuries. I think it's kind of bogus if your virtual player gets injured in a video game. Although I do get why like people like having it on, because it kind of adds some realism, some real elements to the game. I just saw my boy Taco fall for a split second. Might have to go back and grab him. He's just not. His overall is really lacking in this game. And yeah, I hope the best for him. I really hope he like pans out in the NBA, because he was really fun to watch in college at UCF. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. You know what? We're gonna take him. So I really liked Kentucky growing up. And that one year, well, it was Kentucky, right? Yeah. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist was like my man. Like in 2K12, I made a my player named Michael Kidd-Gilchrist and drafted him. That's another story for another time. I built him up like a 93 overall. You guys know how much of a grind that is. And yeah, he's so cool. Love his defense. Really wish he ended up becoming a superstar in the real NBA, but I just really love getting off topic here. Anyways, let's take a look at the roster. So we got Luka. He's going to be running the point. And then we got Jaylen Brown at shooting guard. We're going to have the Bridges brothers kind of switching off at small forward. Porzingis and Mo Bamba down low. And I really like this group because you have Luka running the whole show. And then you have guys who can stretch the floor, shoot mid-range, and shoot three-pointers. But you also have 2 monsters down low, Mo Bamba and Kristaps, right? Who can, keep the paint covered, get rebounds, block shots, all that good stuff. And then we have a really deep bench with guys that I think really fit the role of what our team needs. And, with the D'Antoni offense, I feel like Luka would thrive under this situation. And in a couple of years, once that team develops, gets some chemistry, and these guys mature, I'm telling you, three-peat after three-peat. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching the video. I hope you liked it. Like and subscribe if you liked it. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.